sucks. Like,
So we have to see
the
how it
comments are
plays
also
out.
going to be nuts for this type of story. Like, people are going to say, like, this is how gay men behave. People are also going to say, like, you're trying to out someone for money. Like, it's going to be
Yeah.
not pretty, like, in my opinion. So,
No.
damn. I
Yeah.
missed that one today.
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
Howdy, hey, halfway through the Pride Month a day.
What up?
Did you get a haircut?
I did.
Oh, it looks nice.
Thank you.
Were you not expecting me to say that? Something nice?
And well, it was just that I forgot I got a haircut. I got a haircut. I got my brows fresh. I got my Botox touched up. I did
Your
the
birthday
whole...
really came banging in and you said do it all.
Yeah.
How was your birthday?
It was good. It was fun.
And
And that was it. I didn't do anything crazy. I celebrated with my gym friends, and we worked out, and we went to dinner, and then I celebrated with my family, and then I took myself to a really nice, which I think is really underappreciated, and I think more people need to do, because I celebrated with like a lot of people, and it was like a lot of very social. So then I was like, on Monday, I took myself out to lunch to celebrate
should.
me on
Yeah.
like by myself. I was like, I just need quiet and solitude and no dogs and no, like, I just want like a nice lunch. So I went to, I have Fleming's right by me. So I went to Fleming's and I got myself a nice steak and some wine, and I just appreciated the meal. And it was very yummy.
how does one do their steak like you? Like, is it a medium rare? Is it a rare? Is it a...
I mean, medium rare, preferably more rare. Because
bloody?
sometimes when you ask for medium rare, they don't give you like medium rare. They give you like more of a medium. So I would prefer to like say rare and then kind of like get it a bit more into the medium rare range. That I
Are you a
like.
fat kind of girl or like a not fat on the steak kind of girl?
It depends. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a little fat, a little extra flavor.
It freaks me out. That's why I ask. I had a steak this past weekend and I was like, nope, too much fat. Like, cutting into it freaks me out.
Really?
I don't know. It's just you're like, it's not fun to take a bite of fat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just like, I had this nice steak I had, and I was just a little like, well, half of this is fat, so why am I paying for half of this?
Yeah.
But anyway, happy belated. Anybody who
you.
is listening should wish Zachary a birthday. If you didn't, that's homophobic. So
Yes. Especially during Pride Month. How was your trip? You were in
my
DC, you were in New York, you were gallivanting all throughout the country.
the fucking beaches, like, honestly, everyone should take a vacation and come back and say, I want to work, because I came back more invigorated. But in our life catch up, you've had a birthday. I went away. This is the Olympics of the year for contributing to a gay publication because it's Pride Month. But this vacation was bookended, like World Pride at the beginning. At the end, I had a junket in New York City. In the middle was time with family. And I think there is a sweet spot with family, or after like day 5, you kind of want to kill each other.
Yeah.
So like, I was kind of glad to have my escape and go back to work. But I was like, God damn, I've never been happy to say this, but like, I'm excited to get working again, back in my routine. I will say this much. I left earlier in the month. I was gone for about 12 days almost, a good chunk of time. But I covered World Pride in Washington, D.C. It moves around every time. I think it's every year or two. But this year it was in Washington, D.C. And I was like, I'm a local. And work was like, you want to go? And I was like, I'll go. Like, I grew up in D.C. D.C. was my first ever Pride. It was actually a decade since my first ever Pride. Funny enough. Like, very, very much like kumbaya moment. But I had to cover World Pride because I had to do a lot of interviews. So when you're doing an event like this, there's what we call pre-coverage, and then there's during the event coverage, and then there's post-coverage. So before the event, I was doing artist interviews like on Zoom and like speaking to Trisha Paytas and like Rita Ora. And I was like, what is my life? Like, weird, but like, okay. So at the event, it was mostly focused towards music acts at World Pride because they had a big festival at RFK Stadium. People like Jennifer Lopez performed, Troye Sivan, like Slater, Zed, like, it was very mixed and very packed, but I have never fucking seen so many gay men in my life. Not a lot of women, a lot of gay men.
Yeah, I feel like Pride is more for the gays than the lesbians.
I'll say this much
The
too,
gays
like,
and the theys.
it was put on by Insomniac. So the thing is, when you have a lot of these events, like, it depends on what the type of music is, because there are a lot of people who are very like EDM on one stage, and that does attract a lot more of a male audience. But like, the gays were just ready to fly from wherever. I think the gay men just love to fucking say, let's get on a flight, let's go wherever, and just do the damn thing. People from all across the world. There are people from like Portugal, Peru, and I was like, it seems like the gay men are the ones who want to travel far. But I will tell you, Zachary, it was the most insane experience of my life, because not only were we doing interviews, but we were watching sets. A couple interviews that happened and did not happen were interesting. I'll say that much. So at live events, you're always like, where am I going to do this interview? And they're like, in the trailer, or sometimes in front of a step and repeat. But sometimes the artist is like, it's too hot. Can you find another spot for me? And I'm like, I can try my best, but I've got three spots to find. And I ended up doing one interview in a trailer, made it look good. I'll say this candidly. We were supposed to interview Paris Hilton. Did not happen.
Okay.
So the thing is, live events, anything can happen. So originally Paris was supposed to perform earlier in the day. And when her set was moved, her team was like, we're going to take our time. We're running a little bit behind, and she needs to do glam. So a group of us, probably like 4 reporters, people who worked at outlets, were lined up to do this Paris interview. And so we waited for 2 hours. 2 hours. It's just sitting in this hot, hot heat and humidity. And our rep, was like, hey, like, I'm going to nudge. Like, I don't know why it's taking so long. And I'm like, hey, it's about like 30 minutes to the set. It's okay if it doesn't happen, but just like, I just want to know. So that way I can like go do whatever else I need to. Long story short, she took too long with glam and it didn't happen. So there
How
wasn't
much
like
glam does she need?
Don't know, but she performed not her DJ set, her, classic songs. It was disappointing because I moved a flight to make that Paris interview happen. And, whatever happens. I can't control it. But like, it was a little disappointing. I was like, look, can we do this interview after her set? Nothing came through. That's the name of showbiz.
Well, damn Paris Hilton. She was getting ready for the Bad Bitch Academy. I've been listening to that song a lot. Welcome to the Bad Bitch Academy.
Well, it's always like sunshine and glitter when people look on social media of like what happens at these festivals, but behind the scenes is like, you don't know how much running around happens, how many like rescheduling issues happen. Even we were like getting late into the festival grounds and they're like, your bag's too big. And I was like, I am working. I am press. Please do not make me go back to my hotel and drop off this bag, because I need to bring this bag in because it has camera equipment. Everyone's doing their jobs. But
yeah,
it was also crazy because we watched the entire performance for Jennifer Lopez from a $30,000 table. There was a lovely, generous gay man who was like, come hang out at our table. And so us and a few other people I worked with, they were like, come through. This person wants you to come. And I was like, great. I watched Jennifer Lopez and Troye Sivan from one of the best seats in the house. And this gay man from Tampa, beautiful setup. They're like, what do you drink? I'm like, rum, please, tomorrow. And they're like, we will have that for you. I was like, thank you. So kind, so nice. But yeah, World Pride, you also see everybody and anybody, people you don't want to see. People are like, how the fuck did you get here? Like, we're all here from, Canada, LA. And I'm like, oh, not the LA gays here. I was like, I thought it was fine to do my own thing. But I did have a family vacation. And then I covered the Squid Game junket, which we'll get into later after my vacation.
The Squid Games junket. Are you going to watch the new season of Squid Games?
I already did, and we'll talk about that in our watch.
You watched
skip.
it.
I watched
do you
the whole
watch
damn
it
thing.
in? Do you watch it in the subtitles or with the voices?
I don't know what the right thing to say is, but in international titles, I will watch it in English. I will not read closed captions. I have tried it. It depends on the title.
I can't do closed captions. I have to listen to the voices.
My ADHD goes, I want to read. I want to read. And then I like don't watch what's happening. So yeah, I binged the whole thing, and we'll get to our real opinion and our watch or skip in a little bit and how those interviews went.
Okay.
Yeah. But obviously, if you like the Pop Report, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, do the damn thing.
Hit the like button.
We have
leave a review.
Yeah, we have a lot to get into this episode. Zach, what would you like to get into?
What should we start with? Did you? Okay, well, I feel like the biggest thing that everybody's talking about right now is Tyler Perry. Did you see what just went down with Tyler Perry? I guess last night.
I didn't see this. I've tried to break up my day a little bit and like catching back from being in work and going on assignments, trying to like sleep in, have a little midday workout, and then like go back into work. So I kind of missed this one. So can you please catch me up?
Yes. So Tyler Perry, he's one of the producers, or he's the producer of the show The Oval. I don't know if you've seen The Oval.
No.
Well, in The Oval, there's this really cute guy. His name is Derek Dixon. He's like a newer actor. He plays this guy Dale. Dale happens to be gay, and kind of has like a bit of a troubled life. But Derek, who plays Dale, is now suing Tyler Perry for $260 million for harassment.
Okay. I'm keeping up.
He's claiming that Tyler Perry had harassed him and been pursuing him, I guess made him uncomfortable. I guess at one time he claims that Tyler Perry pulled his underwear down and grabbed his butt or something like that. Oh. And he's showing years of text messages between Tyler Perry and Derek. And Derek is claiming that there were multiple sexual advances that Tyler Perry made on him. And so now he's suing him, claiming he was harassed by Tyler Perry. And the reason he didn't speak out sooner is because he was afraid of retaliation. He was afraid that his career would be ended if he spoke out against Tyler Perry, who, is like the head of the Oval.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he initially met Tyler Perry. He had a small role on a show called Ruthless. And then from there, I guess that's where they connected. And then they became somewhat friendly. And it's kind of strange because Derek, I guess they became so friendly. Like they were texting all the time. Derek would come over to his house and like spend the night. And so they had some sort of relationship. I don't know the extent of it. But Tyler Perry's lawyers are coming out and they're saying that these claims are bogus. And it's obvious that now Derek was just trying to build up this shakedown with Tyler Perry. I think Tyler Perry's team is kind of trying to lean on the side of, Derek pursued Tyler and flirted with Tyler and would kind of lead him on and bait him into like getting flirty with him, only to then now use all of that information against him in this lawsuit.
What do you think of reading it firsthand? Because it seems like if this is quite a few years deep and now it's coming to light in this bigger title, what do you think of it? Like knowing those other texts and things did you read all of them?
I read some of them. And again, it's always very interesting, as we learned with Blake Lively, when people release text messages and then they say that there are, a multitude of messages, but then they only show us like 4 or 5 isolated messages. And it's like, well, yeah, these 4 or 5 isolated messages, it looks like Tyler Perry's trying to flirt with this guy, but we don't know the context of their relationship. We don't know if there were any messages with this guy, Derek, trying to flirt back with Tyler Perry or leading him on in some way. It gets really messy considering that Tyler Perry is technically his boss. I think that's where it's a really bad look because they have had this ongoing relationship for a long time. But I mean, I don't know. It's a little dicey.
Yeah.
Also, this guy doesn't really seem to... Have we known that Tyler Perry was gay?
That's the thing that kind of jumped out for me. I was like, did we...
I feel like there have been rumors...
The rumors,
but
nastiness.
I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think.
It's kind of out of left field for me. The number, obviously, when we talk about these things too, there's always a big number, and then there's some reason to settle, so that number is just like dwarfed by the larger number. So, in this, is it just a claim of sexual harassment, or is there anything else like emotional damage or?
Yeah, there are. Let's see what. The biggest claim is sexual harassment, but I believe there were other. Okay, so it's harassment, assault, retaliation.
Assault.
Yeah, because remember he claims that. So
Got it.
there's an
Yep. Mm-hmm.
incident that he claims he was at Tyler Perry's house and he was in the guest bedroom and he happened to be in his underwear and Tyler Perry came in and he was saying goodnight and then I guess he like pulled his underwear down and grabbed his butt or smacked his
Some
butt or
sort of
did
thing.
something. Yeah. And Tyler would tell him like, "Oh, I'm into guys too." I can see it from both sides. Like I see that it's highly inappropriate for Tyler Perry to be the boss and to be having any of your employees stay in their underwear in your guest bedroom. Like you're kind of already playing with fire there, and you should know there are certain boundaries you maybe don't want to cross. I also understand that him being the boss, I think he thinks maybe there are certain things he could get away with. But I also feel like maybe this guy was flirty with him. Maybe they did have some sort of back and forth, flirty, more than
Something.
platonic, more than working relationship. And I mean, these guys in LA are kind of a dime a dozen, though. They will flirt with you and they'll do all these things and they'll be. I mean, I'm sure you've run into a million of them where like they kind of just everyone in LA wants something from you, so they're gonna like try to entertain you and keep you in the circle so that they can,
Toe the line.
gain something that you have that they think that they need or want to help their career.
I don't know. I can't make any judgments anymore when like any lawsuits or claims come out. I'm like, I need to
know.
see both sides, both claims, and it's just like it sucks that we have now become in this state where anything we see, we have reservations.
Yeah.
And so I can't make any comments like until, at least we're 2 weeks deep into some stories and I'm like, fuck.
The other piece of it, though, that to me I think feels a little maybe where I'm a little curious to listen to Tyler Perry's side is the fact that, and I just looked it up, and Tyler Perry, to our knowledge, has not openly come out as gay. There may have been some rumors, but for the most part, like we've had nothing. Not him dating somebody, kissing somebody, rumored to be dating somebody, nothing at all. So, based off of the text messages, it does appear that Tyler Perry is into men. He does have a child with a woman that I think they had a baby back in 2014. So I think that it's very easy to extort somebody when you know that you have leverage over them, such as their sexuality that they haven't come out yet with. And so I think that could be an element, and I'm curious to see how Tyler Perry's attorneys formally respond outside of saying like these are bogus charges. Because this could have been an attempt to extort him and be like, listen, I'm going to pay me my money. It's a big lawsuit. It's a big number. Pay me my money or I'm going to out you.
Sucks. Like,
so we have to see.
The comments are also going to be nuts for this type of story. Like people are going to say like, this is how gay men behave. People are also going to say like, you're trying to out someone for money. Like it's going to be not pretty, like in my opinion. So damn. I missed that one today, but I don't know if you saw this also. Did you see that Miss Carrie Bradshaw, is coming on to call her daddy? Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
So in our general news, I saw that she is talking about how women are being treated when it comes to like a lot of fictional stories. So this article came from Variety that I saw, and Carrie's about to go on Call Her Daddy. We don't have anything when this episode obviously is being recorded. We don't have the live episode yet. And Just Like That has come out with a new season. And Just Like That has not been pandering very well to audiences compared to the original Sex and the City.
No, because it sucks.
Say it. And Sarah Jessica Parker is coming out saying like, look, like think whatever you want of Carrie Bradshaw. But like there's been so many times in media that women are basically making choices in their fictional situations that they are absolutely hated for, and men do certain things that they are loved for. And I'm like, I'm going to say this is flip of the coin 50-50 because like I can agree and disagree with this. But Sarah Jessica Parker is basically saying, look, men can do a lot of things on screen and they are still loved. And my first example I can think of is the character from Joe Goldberg, where he does a lot of murder. And that's what basically she's saying is like men do a lot of bad things on TV, but we still love that character. When a woman makes mistakes or makes wrong choices, you shame them a lot. But, it's an interesting argument because I think that the thing she's trying to get at, she has a valid point. I think that her character in Sex and the City, though, is just so unlikable from doing the same thing every single time that it kind of makes a hard comparison. Like if you put a man as also like the similar Carrie Bradshaw-esque, I could kind of get down with it of like, that man sucks too. But I think when people talk about characters and dating and fictional relationships, people are very quick to make judgments. But in the murder side, I can be like, yeah, like that's different. We don't get to make as many judgments on murder because people kind of know what they're, I don't want to say getting into, but this kind of went down a weird rabbit hole. I was trying to get my explanation and it went out the door.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Here come the
it
comments
makes
on
sense
Andy's
to you.
blabbermouth speeches.
It makes sense to you, then it makes sense.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what she's going to talk about on this Call Her Daddy interview because she's not been one to talk too much to the press in recent years. She's not been one, I think, to really open up too much. And so we'll kind of see what she says when it comes to everything Sex in the City. Maybe she'll talk about everything from the original series and why some people are not back for it just like that.
That's the tea that I want. I want her to talk about Kim Cattrall.
I will say this much, though. A Call Her Daddy interview with a Sex and the City cast member, it is the perfect pairing because both talk about sex. And you could really get to the root of both shows if Alex really decides to lean into the sex positive element of Call Her Daddy instead of just an interview.
But she like abandoned that.
I think we all abandon things sometimes.
That whole, what Call Her Daddy was is no longer what it is now. Now she just has more of these like fluff. So every time she has like a good guest, and I want to listen, and I'm like, ooh, we're gonna get something good, and then we really never get anything good. Like, sure, we may get like a decent headline, but like we don't really. I don't know. I'm trying to think of one interview that I've listened to hers that I like was like, wow, that was a really good interview.
I don't disagree. And we'll get a good headline. I can't tell you a full fucking podcast episode of anybody's I fully listened to. But that's on me.
Yeah.
But I am interested to see this one. Of all the guests that she has, I didn't know if you saw that. So that's our hot headlines in our general news. But I think we should talk about some upcoming movie and TV news because there's been a lot of commotion. And I'm a little in my feels about this Traitors cast that has been talked about online. Now, I'm sure you saw, at first I thought this was a rumor, and I was like, nope, this is fucking true. And we have a slate of cast members announced for Traitors. I think there's 4 people that have not been added into this slot, but they have apparently begun filming. Yeah. I want your gut reaction to some of these cast members announcements because I feel mixed.
Yeah. So, well, first up, we have Donna Kelsey, which is Travis Kelsey's mom, Taylor Swift's future mother-in-law, should he ever propose. At this point, who knows if he ever will. But Donna Kelsey, which is just kind of random, but I guess we always have like random old people that they throw in there. Natalie Anderson from Survivor.
Don't know
She
her.
was on Survivor in 2014, and then she did another season in 2019.
I'll candidly say this before you go on to more people. I don't know these Survivor, Big Brother people, like, the challenge. I know there's a lot of really good game players, but every time I'm like, I don't keep up with these people.
No. We have Ian Terry from Big Brother 14 back in 2012. I'm sure you're a big fan. Colton Underwood, he's joining. He's a name, even though he was what, a one season on The Bachelor, but like since then has like come. He's
placed a tracker on a girl's car.
And now he's a gay icon.
Sure, go off.
So he's gonna be in it. Rob Sesternino, he was on Survivor. Okay, got it. Cute. Dorinda Medley's back.
Dorinda, say what you got to say first.
No, I'm happy. They killed her off the first episode. She was the first one murdered on the Traitors last season, and everyone was so disappointed because they felt like there was so much she was going to bring to the castle, and so I'm hoping we get a little more from Dorinda this time around. I mean, they brought back Kate. What was it, season 2? So bringing back Dorinda, I'm not surprised that they're bringing somebody back. And I think if anybody deserved a chance to come back, it was Dorinda because we didn't really get to see her in her full glory.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it that. But I think the interesting part is Kate was actually on for quite a long run. And
Yeah,
like
she made it to
Dorinda,
the
we
end.
don't really know what she's going to do in this game. So, like, yes, she was out early, but like, we don't have a reason to bring somebody back necessarily unless they're performing really well for ratings. So, that's my like top
Yeah.
thought. I'm like, you should have fucking thrown some other housewife in there. Like, throw Erica in there, throw Kyle in there, throw a Beverly Hills like girl.
Well, we got Lisa Rinna.
That's fine, but
That's a
like,
big one.
that
That
is a
one was
big one.
major.
I would
Yeah.
have just like loved to see Lisa and another girl from Beverly Hills kind of duke it out and like go with whatever is in there because I don't know. Yeah, you have like a New York cast member. I have talked to Sonia Morgan, and Sonia Morgan has been asked to do this 3 times in a row. And she's like, "Look, I don't want to do it because I don't want to be able to not be on my phone. Like they take your phone. I want to talk to my daughter." I'm like, Sonia. But like there are obvious girls that will perform well because they are big talkers, big unscripted personalities. Dorinda, we didn't get to see much of. And like I'm yes, interested to see how she's gonna do, but I'm like, I kind of wish we got another housewife in there, like a different one.
I mean, listen, you got Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna's a good one. Who else did we get from Housewives? We had Rinna. We have Portia Williams. She's another heavy. Candace Dillard Bassett, Potomac, Atlanta, Beverly Hills, and New York. I think these are 4. Last season we had duds. Dolores was a dud. Robin Dixon, I was shocked that she even got. She's from Potomac. I was shocked she even got cast on the show because she's boring as hell.
Say it.
Larsa was great. Dorinda, I mean, listen, people have seen Dorinda on TV for a long time, so I think we know she's going to deliver. Candace, we know is going. I feel like the Bravo stars we had last season were duds. Sierra Miller from Summer House and Dolores, who I think people had high expectations of, but she was a bit of a flop. So I feel like the housewives that they have this season, I feel like they came in with some heavy hitters. Portia's a heavy hitter. Rinna is a
I'll agree
heavy
with
hitter.
that.
Dorinda's a heavy hitter. Candace is a heavy hitter. I don't think she's as big of a star in Housewives world, but Potomac is just kind of one of the lower ranking. It doesn't have like as much commercial success as
And
some
no
of the
Salt Lake
others.
City girls. That's the biggest thing I see online. Everyone's like, no
Yeah.
Salt Lake City girls. Why? But also, Dorinda came in hot that season reunion, and she came
Yes.
right after Bob, and I'm like, ugh, this kind of makes me think of what's going to be her in the season if this is my glimpse of her time in the reunion. So I think she's just going to fight with
Yeah.
people and she's going to get out early.
I mean, we'll see I think people won't vote her out too early because obviously they understand that production brought her back for a reason and having her on the show longer is going to be an asset for the show and it's going to make people continue to watch more. So I'm hoping people aren't as dumb as the Traitors were last season because they were really dumb with the choices that they were making. Like they got rid of all like Bob the drag queen, Dorinda, all the charismatic, interesting people got booted so early on that it was like we were left with a bunch of duds. I mean, and listen, at the end of the day, we ended up falling for Dylan, Efron, and Gabby, and I think Dylan and Gabby were great, but I don't think they would have shined as much.
Dylan has cashed out. Dylan has fully. You look at this man after socials or after his season on socials, deal after deal after deal. That man has made boku bucks.
Yeah.
So,
and listen, he didn't really do much, right? Like he wasn't a really strong player. He didn't give us many good like moments at the round table.
just
Like
trusting,
the only
endearing.
reason he ended up becoming a fan favorite in the end is because all the other players were so terrible and all the interesting people were already booted off of the show that like we didn't have many other options. So even people were rooting for Tom Sandoval. Like that was something that we did not see coming. But also joining the cast, we have Tiffany Mitchell. She's from Big Brother. Boring. We have Yam Yam. Who the fuck is? Oh, Survivor. Okay. Monet Exchange. You know Monet Exchange,
Yes.
I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay, so Monet Exchange from
Bob the drag
RuPaul.
queen actually thought Monet was gonna. Monet, I think it was. She named three drag queens, and Monet was in there. Shea Coulee was already. Was Shay already on? I'm blanking, but that was definitely Monet Exchange was like Bob was like she would do very well, and so maybe she knew ahead of time that she was going to go in.
Yeah. Mark Ballas, kind of a dud. He was from Dancing with the Stars. I'm not that
Invested.
jazzed or impressed. Eric Nam.
Who's
I
that?
don't even know who. Here's his bio. Eric Nam made his debut in 2013 as a singer, songwriter, and TV personality. But who the fuck is he?
I was like,
Everybody's a singer songwriter nowadays, and if he was from 2013,
you know,
just,
throw some singer songwriters in there. Like, I don't know, if they threw in,
Jason Mraz.
that would be fun. And then you throw in Benny Blanco. You know, like, that's all I'm saying is, like, I get there's a lot of players from games, but, like, throw me some random curveball personalities that would just be fun to watch.
I already know Eric Nam is going to make it far, and nobody's going to care. He's going to be one of those coasters that makes it all the way to the end.
You know, I love me a roller
and
coaster.
kind of just like skirts by. We have Maura Higgins. She was, I guess Love Island. Okay. She's an actress. She's been on a number of different things, but she was primarily Love Island USA, Love Island Games, Love Island USA after the sign. Johnny Weir. Are you happy about that? You're getting lots of gay representation this time.
You know, it's just not the people I kind of wanted.
You don't like Johnny Weir? Didn't he have a messy divorce?
I don't know, but, like, there are people I just haven't caught up with, and, you know, I'd love to see, like, fucking Bianca Del Rio in there. Throw her in. She'll, like, really have a good time with it. We also got some discourse of people saying there weren't any trans people. Like, you know, when Alan Cummings like, let's make this very diverse. I don't know, put G Flip in there.
You have a drag queen.
We have drag queens, but we don't have any trans people. I think that there's just an interesting mix of people. Like, we didn't. I don't keep up with Johnny that much. I don't even know what they're doing. Like, who else was it on the list? Is that it?
Tara Lipinski. She's a Olympian. She's a figure skater. Ron Funches.
I can't tell you who most of these people are.
He's, I guess, an actor and comedian. Okay. Rob Roche. He was the bad guy. He was the one that everybody hated on Love Island. I didn't watch Love Island, but I do remember him, and he's a cutie. We have Kristen Kish. She's from Top Chef. That's new. See, we're bringing representation, Andy. Now we have an Asian chef in here.
Bring in Kristen Cavallari.
Stephen Coletti. He dated Stephen Coletti dated Kristen Cavallari. Love Stephen Coletti. He's a cutie too. Michael Rappaport. Okay. I think he's going to be an interesting one.
I think that's going to. Not people are not happy about that one.
He's definitely polarizing.
Yeah.
And then Caroline, I forgot she was in it too. Caroline Stanbury.
Yeah. I mean,
she's from. She was on Ladies of London, and now, I guess she was also formerly on Real Housewives of Dubai, but it looks like Dubai's been canceled. So
you know, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to cut you off. There's 4 people left. And I think we need to give our predictions of who the other 4 might be. And I can tell you my one. We don't have a Selling Sunset girl, and I think it's going to be Christine Quinn.
Wasn't she? Yeah, she was supposed to be on it. No, no, she's doing House of Villains? Yeah, she's on House of Villains.
Why? I rescind my
vote. Judge Judy. I think Judge Judy is going to be on there. Her name has been floating around. So we have 4 people that have not been announced, right?
Correct.
But that are also joining. And this was like last season when they brought in like the challenge guys. So I don't know how they're going to introduce these new people, but I think one of them is going to be Judge Judy. That's going to be my prediction. I don't know who else. We have 3, 4. Okay. I don't think they'll bring in another housewife. Maybe Lindsay Hubbard. No, they can't bring in Lindsay because she's filming Summer House.
What about Rachel Lindsay?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of the approach. Like, they're probably going to go. There's probably going to be some heavy hitter. There's probably going to be some big name.
Is Rachel Lindsay a heavy hitter?
No. Your Judge Judy one was, like, pretty fun because people are going to be like, Judge Judy, I want her on my side. She's an iconic name. And the rest are going to have, like, duke it out for some game, and they're going to bring them all in.
Yeah.
So
I could see Sarah Hyland. I think she might be. I don't know, but I hear she's a nightmare to work with. I don't.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson, they might try to pull in for some random reason.
Oh, that would be fun.
Maybe.
What if there's a trans person that's one of the 4?
That would be a good ass time. I think they could also bring in someone from RuPaul's Drag Race. I think in like Sasha Colby, they'll probably try
They
to bring
had
in.
Monet Exchange.
She's not trans.
Oh. Well, you said RuPaul's Drag Race, so it's like they have Monet.
Well, some of the queens have transitioned, but I think Sasha Colby, who's a trans woman, would be probably someone they float around maybe. Because I don't know. But yeah, you have a good point with House of Villains. They have all these people who have gone to do that show, and the Escape the House one. Like there's all these people, and they probably have a lot of offers. That
Spencer
they're like,
Pratt would be a good one.
but Spencer just did that Hulu show, so like, I don't know. You have a good point though. Like all these other reality shows, they're trying to do compilations that I think everyone's trying to be selective of who they're going to bring in when it comes time. But if they have another offer, they'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Aside from that, we have Squid Game Season 3 that is coming out. And I wanted to give you a little review on Squid Game and also tell you how, for our dear listeners, how junkets work. Because people love to know how the whole nature of the showbiz happens. At the end of my family vacation, went from Washington, D.C. to New York to LA. I was in New York for less than 24 hours. And God, if that was like my only assignment, just going to New York and back for 24 hours, pass. Pass. If you have another trip extended on it, great. But like when these happen, junkets are very fast. So in a junket, you usually get a slot to talk with specific talent. They're paired. You're in a hospitality room in a hotel. You have breakfast, you have lunch, you maybe have an overnight stay, some Uber credits, and more. How it works is sometimes they'll fly you out. Sometimes it's virtual. Sometimes you'll be on your laptop and the talent will be in New York. They're trying to save some money, not fly out Zack Peter to save some of their coin. So this time I was flown out because they have money. And they said, we want to have you there. But also, this title obviously is Korean. So for the talent, they are speaking in their native language. And we have a translator. So it's not normal for most interviews when you're like,
oh, that's right,
working with a translator. So you have to do is you, for video, are so focused in on these talent, you ask your question in English, translator then interprets that to Korean, tells the talent, and then the talent answer goes back to a translator, and the translator looks at you, and they go, so this is what they said, and you do that for 7 minutes. It is long and short at the same time. So if you have a group of 3 people, what ends up happening is you get 1 question for each person, and that's it. If you have 2 people, you might get like...
Oh, yeah, because it takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time.
Back and forth,
eaten into your total time. So not only that, but you have to read body language. You have to read their interpretation of, do they feel comfortable asking, or answering another topic that is similar to this? Do you think they're not going to want to push forward on this topic? And so it is the most interpretive dance you can ever do, because you're not only doing that, but you're also on video, so you need to look like you're interested in what they're saying and that you understand, so they don't give you a flat tone. They laugh, you're like, I'll laugh too. Cool. It is interesting, and once you're done, you get right on a flight and you go back home. But Squid Game, holy fucking shit, this season, it is emotionally charged. It is...
What is new? But okay, so how did it end last season? I thought he beat the games again. He's going back for a 3rd time?
So he's in the game. Season 2 ended with him still in the game. And so this continues where it left off. And I was watching while I was on vacation every night, an episode each day. And I was like, holy fucking shit, where did we leave off? Because it's been a minute. And there's no recap. So you have to just remember. And each episode's an hour. But bitches be dying left and right. Everyone has some emotional death, because obviously, spoiler alert, everyone dies in some way. It is Squid Game. Everyone watched the first season. But yeah, like, I was pissed watching a lot of this. I was like, why the fuck? I was like in the car, and I was like, I can't be loud. I'm in the back seat. There are other people here.
How many episodes did you see? All of them?
There are 5 episodes, because season 2 is 5 episodes. Season 3 is 5 episodes.
Got it.
So a girl was pissed in the back seat when it ended, and I was like, that... I have a lot of questions.
Rude.
That was rude. That was really fucking rude.
Rude.
So that was me. And I just want to give you all a little backseat POV of how these work, because You know, it sounds glamorous and fun sometimes, but it's a lot of work. You have to watch the full thing. If it's virtual, you know, you're on your computer. If it's in person, maybe it's in your area. Maybe you fly out to it. Other times they say we want to do a select exclusive interview with Zack Peter in the studio. And that is a sometimes.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun junket.
Yeah, it was.
24 hours in New York.
I had a steak that was full of fat, and I said, thank you very much. I'll take it back.
What kind of steak did you order? Like, you have to order like one of the ones that's not so fatty. Like, do it like a fillet.
It said steak frites, so I was like, I'll order that. I didn't know what kind of steak.
Frites usually, it's usually fatty.
Yeah. Papa was like,
Because it's usually like the strip steak.
yeah. Hotel was nice. I was across from Central Park, and I was like, I can get used to this. In my little robe, I fell asleep right in my robe.
Fun.
But I was away from my boyfriend, sent him back on a plane. So we not only experienced our first trip together, but we both times there and back flew separately, which is a great transition to our couples corner. I want to know about the other couples and their shit going on because I was lonely for the last part of this trip.
I'm curious what you think about this, though. So obviously we've talked a lot about Hugh Jackman and this rumored relationship with Sutton Foster. It seems that they've officially confirmed that they are dating and that they are together.
And they're making out in an In-N-Out parking lot.
In the parking lot and in the drive-thru. Dumb. But so anyway, now I guess they're being dubbed as the new Benifer by the theater community because obviously they're both in theater. Do you think that Sutton and Hugh are the new Benifer?
Who said that? Like,
I don't know. The theater nerds.
pass.
Hard pass.
I'm good. I don't want to call anybody
we all
Benifer.
know that we all know that he's having butt sex with Ryan Reynolds.
Also, Jennifer Lopez at World Pride, best show it was up there. I was also like, wow, respect on her. But on this, figure it out, girls. They're not the new Benifer. No one's Benifer. There's only one Benifer.
And like they were such an iconic couple. Huge, like Sutton Foster is not.
I wouldn't put Sutton Foster up there with Hugh Jackman. I wouldn't call them an iconic couple. They're still fresh out the gate kindergarten level.
No, she's a cute beard, but at some point he's gonna shave it.
Shave it with me. You know?
And then alternatively, we have Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. Have you heard about these like breakup rumors? People think that they're not together. They haven't been spotted together in a really long time. Obviously, she's on tour, but she's been spotted without her wedding ring. And now we have Jeff Bezos' wedding that's coming up, and Orlando Bloom is attending the wedding, but he's not attending with Katy.
Is this
granted? She is on her Australian arc of the tour, but I don't know.
Are we going to Michelle Obama the shit out of this? Michelle Obama didn't show up for this. Michelle Obama didn't show up for that. The without the wedding ring is the only questionable part. You know? Like, the other stuff, a girl's tired. You know, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's been talked about online too much. She's like, I want to sit with Daisy at home. I don't want to go to a fucking wedding. And I'm like, facts. Her with the wedding ring on. People do this for a reason because they're looking for some, I don't want to put it this way. It is sometimes a PR stunt when people are like, it's fine. I didn't wear it. What didn't Kyle Richards also like have a moment where she's like, I didn't have my wedding ring on because I was playing tennis or something. And
she's going to the gym.
Yeah. And we might get this from Katy Perry where she's like, I was doing an activity, but it's to take off some sort of, I don't want to say scrutiny in other ways, but like we know how the press works. I don't know. This wedding ring part, that's the thing people are going to focus in on. People aren't going to think too much. The two together are not a good storm, though.
I liked them together. I mean, but they've been engaged for how many? They got engaged, what, in 2019?
Aren't they married?
No, I think they're still engaged.
Look it up. Flat screen. Asthma.
No. I was right. They got engaged in February of 2019 because it was a Valentine's Day proposal. And, they were supposed to get married, but then COVID happened. And so they postponed the wedding and then never ended up getting married.
They had a child together. She decided to make an album. If I was Orlando Bloom, or if I was in this situation and I was one of the two people, I'd be like, bitch, when the fuck are we going to do this? Because it's been 6 years. You were going to make an album. You're going to
Well,
commit to
that's
all
why
these
it's
other
kind of
things.
like at this point, I can see why now there's speculation because, like,
El
I mean,
Anillo
she did.
Cuando, as Jennifer Lopez says. Where the ring at?
Granted, she does. It's only an engagement ring. It's not like a wedding ring. So I mean,
Yeah, it's just a
how
cheap
many?
little
How
engagement
long?
ring. Toss it.
Okay, it's definitely not a cheap little. It's like a giant emerald like ring with like flower petals around it. It's ginormous, and it's like, so I understand like why she wouldn't rock, a
Rock that
ring
rock.
like that every day. I get it because like that's a really big and expensive ring, especially if she's traveling and she's, I get it. It's not a wedding ring. It's literally just an engagement ring, a very big, extravagant, expensive engagement ring. That as you're on tour and traveling all over the place, I would imagine you leave it in the safety deposit box. You go on tour, you do your thing, you come home, and then you put it back on.
Rinse and repeat. He does the dishes. She gives him a good blowy. Like she says on Call Her Daddy.
Yep, when she sees him doing the dishes.
Damn. Maybe she doesn't want to do the dishes because she's got that big ring on. She said, you do the dishes.
Maybe.
I don't know, Zachariah. I don't ever like to predict anymore. I don't like to predict anymore. Even though I asked you, I'm like, what do you think's going to happen?
I think they're done. Yeah, I think there's too much speculation. There's too much heat. They haven't really been seen together in a while. I just think a 6-year engagement is kind of a red flag. So yeah, I think the last time I think we saw them together publicly, that was when she got the award. What was it? The MTV Awards?
He came on stage.
Yeah. So that was a while ago. She seemed to like really be in love with him then. But I don't know. Was he there when she went to space? No.
Don't know.
I don't remember hearing anything about was Orlando.
I don't think he was. She had other strong, independent women by her. She didn't need no man at that time.
Oh, he was there.
Okay, never mind. He was
was
there. She
He
needed
was
him.
there to
She
support
so
her
needed him.
with their daughter Daisy Dove.
Daisy Dove.
I don't like that name.
A dollop of Daisy and Dove hand soap.
So, yeah.
Put him in a name. And there you go.
Yeah.
It's
Daisy Dove Bloom.
Oh yeah, Bloom.
Oh, he apparently didn't approve of the trip. He was mad that she went to space.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
So the court finds. Well, what a time.
He was frustrated and disappointed.
Not the headlines coming out.
Wow.
Well,
Apparently he was not happy about her going to space.
I don't think anybody would be excited to go to space. If your significant other's going, you're like, honey, there's a risk.
Well, no, I would think of it more of like, I mean, we just had, what was it, the converse, what was the one in the water? Conversible?
Titan submersible? Conversible? A
Submersible,
convertible?
yeah. Yeah, we don't want a convertible under the water. Submersible, yes. That thing, it blew up and down below. Like, I don't know if I would have faith. I don't know if I would be comfortable with my partner who I have a baby with going to space. And yeah, I'd be like, this is a conversation we should have a bit more of. Yeah, he was
too
there
much
to support her with the baby. But wow, what a time.
She's allowed to do whatever, though. And if I think the only clear draw on the line, Sam, would be if she said, I'm bringing my daughter to space too. And that would be like, parentals have to make a joint decision on that.
What would you do if you were in that situation, though?
I'd be like, honey,
if your partner had an opportunity to go to space, obviously it's very risky. Like I feel like a big decision like that could put strain on the relationship.
I would have a sit down in my living room with my significant other, hot tea, and say, honey, would you like some honey?
It's over.
Oh, I would like to support your dreams, and it is up to you. But know that in my heart, I am very worried. I don't want to control you. Do whatever. Respectfully, I do not want you to go, but it is your body, your choice.
Do you consider yourself controlling?
No. I've been in those relationships. It is not fun. You don't want to be that girl also. When you've experienced it to you, Katy Perry's like, I'm a multi-platinum artist. I can go on tour. I can have all these risks in my life, but I can't go to space. Think about it. But I think that's it for our episode.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, if you love the Pop Report, you got to hit the button.
Hit the like button, hit the things. Oh, we got a new review
Oh, what is it?
on Apple. From Lexi Jordan. Lexi says, "Baby, baby, baby." Oh, like Justin
Like
Bieber.
the song that you, yeah,
Baby,
yeah.
baby, baby. Oh. She says, "Love, love, love this podcast. I love when Zach sings Baby. It's such a jam. Andy talking about his life problems." She put problems in
Great.
quotation marks. Andy talking about his life problems, like moving, work, etc. She says, "Girl, same. Thanks for being a staple in my mornings and making my cheeks hurt from all the clapping in the back." No, she's making her cheeks hurt from all the laughing.
Oh, clapping and laughing. Same. I laugh when I
Did you get
clap.
your cheeks clapped a lot in DC?
Not as much as I wish. Not as much as I wish. When you have a
Better
convertible
than
bed, you think it's
nothing.
going to clap more. Mm-mm.
A convertible bed.
Yeah, it turns into like a little couch to a bed. Papa was tired.
We got a lot of new comments on Spotify, which, by the way, we did confirm that Alex Cooper was harassed by her coach, her
Yes.
female coach.
Yes.
That news came out from last time we talked. So I said that her documentary looked boring. And listen, I was very interested when the headlines came out and the documentary debuted, but like we didn't hear anything else since then. I haven't watched the documentary. I was interested, but I didn't watch it, and we didn't hear anything else from it. So maybe it was a bit of a flop.
Oh.
We're not talking about it. We forgot about it.
I'm still keeping up
But
with
anyway,
it.
we did get comments. Rajan says love it. Buttons McFlurry says love this. Gigi said like the studio, and you both look fine. Love you guys. Nikki says happy 100th episode. It's absolutely one of my favorites. Love you too. Sarah says, as someone who didn't know how she got her podcast, I enjoyed her Hulu documentary. Oh, there we go.
Full
She
circle.
enjoyed Alex's documentary. And then Jessica says, someone in a review said Andy doesn't make any sense. And Zach says, I live in Delulu land. And Andy snaps back with Land of Lakes, podcast perfection always.
Lando
What
Lakes.
is Land of Lakes? Oh, Lando Lakes. What does that mean?
The butter.
The butter?
Oh my fuck. Lando Lakes
Do you
butter.
know the Muffin Man?
Do
What? What are we talking about?
the Lando Lakes butter. They had to change the logo and everything. The girl like on the lake.
Why? It would like Aunt Jemima? They canceled the butter?
You didn't even know what the butter was, so why are you upset?
Well, I'm just curious. Why did they cancel the butter? What did the butter do?
It was a Native American woman on it.
Oh. And we want to erase
The lakes.
Native American
The
women?
land.
Oh.
I can't. Girl erasure.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for the comments. Please keep them coming. Wow, that was a very lively comment section.
Not
from
you
the
saying
last
lively.
episode. It's a lively affair. Yeah.
Well, we'll see you all very soon. And thanks for the love. Talk to you later.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.